Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna be a bit quieter because it's getting late and it's almost Arsen's sleep time, and it's been a very long day. So the idea for a video today was to announce the winner of the Bilo 4 anniversary challenge, which is, I'm gonna do that at the end of the video. So if you're impatient, you can just scroll to the end of the video and then scroll back, because I'm also gonna do a Q&A. I've asked you guys to send me some questions on Instagram yesterday, and you guys asked a bunch of questions, almost getting close to 200 questions. So I'm probably gonna have the time to answer maybe 20, 30 of them. We'll see. Most of them are like, when are you coming here? When are you coming here? Anyway, so I'll just skip through those. Tours are coming. I have a couple of offers on the table, a couple of ideas floating around. We'll see. But yeah, definitely I would love to come to your beautiful country, to your beautiful city. When it happens, you'll probably find out. Let's get into the questions. Question number 1: guitar or Fortnite? This is a tough one, especially now that Fortnite had introduced the Fortnite festival, which is kind of like a Guitar Hero type thing. I have to go with Fortnite. Yeah. Cry from Bilo 4. It means a lot to me. What was your inspiration? Thank you. Well, that's a big question. I'm gonna try and be as brief as possible, so I can go through as many questions as I can. So Cry is more or less a kind of like a reply to Smile from Bilo 3. Actually, the first thing that I made for the song Cry was lyrics. Speaking of Cry, Vladimir Lalis just released a full vocal playthrough, sing-through of the song on his social media, so go check that out. It's absolutely mind-blowing. That guy is something else. He was present when I was writing one of the verses, the second verse for the song, and he can confirm it was a very delicate play between how to make the lyrics very personal without making them too personal, because my initial idea for the second verse was to have this very, very emotional discussion with my deceased parent. But you know, there's a very fine line between having the lyrics and music be sad and emotional and, you know, just filled with different emotions, but not cross the line where it becomes morbid. I was playing on a very thin thread with the lyrics for that song, and yeah, just, you know, had to be very, very careful and very creative with those. Musically, the first thing that happened was the canon thingy that starts the whole thing, and that little play of rhythms where you have like 3x4 plus 4x4 and then 5x4, having this beautiful rhythmic circle that just, you know, repeats over and over and over again, that kind of keeps you engaged rhythmically. And this interesting canon that I actually kind of started writing on a piano, and then I decided to engage some woodwinds and saxophones. Yeah, it was this interesting play of canon between like the lower register and the higher register. Not very a specific inspiration behind the song, just something that was building over time and became what it is. How can we build a solid network? Musicians and marketing. So related to musicians and marketing, I guess just offer something of value. You will know what that is. Beautiful music that people will relate to and enjoy. If it's, just social media content that you're good at, or educational content, or maybe you just have a lot of charisma. Maybe you're just like this loud person that draws attention, no matter how stupid the topic you're covering or how limited your knowledge is. There's a bunch of that floating around. Offer something of value. Your charisma, your knowledge, your art, entertainment. It's up to you to decide what it is, and then you will slowly build up, the following, and networking will come as a consequence of that, and you'll have a chance to meet some wonderful people. And yeah, don't be a dick. That's a very important one. Favorite artists, where do you draw inspiration? Nowadays, I don't know, actually. Let's see my end of the year list. Yeah, well, it was pretty much this. So Cage the Elephant, Gogo Penguin, Temples, Leon Bridges, and Patrick Watson. It's kind of a mix between what I listen to and what Jelka listens to and what we listen to, because we've been playing a lot of music on our new TV through YouTube Music. So I guess those are the ones. What this list excludes is a lot of Meshuggah, Pat Metheny, Steve Lukather, and some Jeff Beck, obviously. Feels like your mixes have more space. Orchestration or arrangement/production. All of it will drive, like, the writing of a song will, dictate how the arrangement is going to be like. Arrangement will drive decisions as to how you're going to mix. Obviously, your mix will draw decisions on how you're going to master it. Everything matters, and everything needs to work together at the end. If it doesn't, you have a bad product on your hands, and you should probably, if you can't make your song work in a mix, something's up with any of the previous steps, be it writing, arrangement, recording, and you should always check those. Will there be score/transcription of Bilo 4 in the future? I need to send Mr. Gabo Puente, who's doing my tabs lately. I need to send him the tracks. This is a good reminder for me. I should probably do that sometime soon. So yeah, guitar transcription coming for sure. As for scores, there's some ideas floating around that I should do like a piano book for some of my more piano focused pieces of music. So yeah, something's gonna happen for sure. Tell us the story of how touring with Pliny made you fall in love with guitar again. Oh man, just touring in general. So I actually wanted to make a whole video covering this topic, and I probably will, but at some point I wanted to avoid making music that is very guitar focused, and I wanted to write music because I was like fresh out of Berkeley, and I had all this, technique and knowledge in my hands when it came to guitar, and felt like some of the stuff that I was writing at that moment was very, it just like draws you to show off more of what you've learned, like that kind of stuff, and I really wanted to escape that, and that's why I decided to completely change the guitar tuning that I'm playing, so I can focus more on writing music rather than being this, crazy guitar player, shredder guy or whatever. So yeah, I changed my tuning to A flat, E flat, A flat, E flat, A flat, B flat. And I've been using it up until like a few years ago. I actually switched back to standard tuning because when you tour with guys like Tosin, with Pliny, with Jakub, Nick Johnston, Jake, a bunch of those guys, and you know, at the end of the day, like you end up jamming with them on stage, off stage, and I was just missing that aspect of my guitar playing, to be honest. I can find my way around the fretboards on the open A flat tuning, but not anywhere near to a degree like I can on a standard tuning. I was invited to play a jam session with Aaron Marshall and a few other guys in Budapest at one point, and Aaron gave me one of his guitars, and it was in standard tuning, and I very much enjoyed how that felt. And I was like, okay, I might as well switch back. So yeah, I've been writing, like entire Bilo 4 is written in standard tuning, except for the ×2 is me. So just jamming with the guys on and off stage made me feel like there's so much more to learn and show. And yeah, I came back to playing a lot more guitar for sure. Yeah, although I was kind of sick of it for years. Who would have thought? Yeah. Will Destiny Potato ever return? What is your most nostalgic piece of music you've written? Could be a motif, a chord progression, etc. So much of my music is written at a specific time. It usually has like a background story behind it. I even thought about making a series on YouTube. I would call it something like a story behind and then the name of the song, because there's a bunch of like little stories and interesting, cool details I could share. If that's something that you think might be interesting, let me know. Maybe I can do those as my, you know, newsletter, like blog posts or something like that as well. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I absolutely love those smaller bits, you know. I was always a fan when bands and artists have those little, like small pieces of music surrounded with these bigger pieces of music, which I try to implement in my writing as well. You know, like stuff like When She Crafts, or like Beaver Moon, or obviously of Bliss, of Grief, of Hope as well, Universe in a Crayon, stuff like that. Just like small, intricate little pieces that will, you know, that will guide the records, that will help you steer the record into a different direction. It's always a lot of fun. I don't know, I love those. I know some people dislike those, but hey, my record, I'm gonna do whatever I feel is necessary. What was the question? Most nostalgic piece of music. Just for the sake of name, I'm gonna say nostalgia, but definitely not. I would have to really, really think about it. Maybe listen through my records to decide on like one piece. So I don't know. Yeah, moving on. Have you ever considered making a cooking YouTube channel? I'd love to see more pizza content. So Jelka and I, we make probably like 95% of the food that we eat, so it's like a big passion of mine, and I love to keep it. I'd love to keep it that, you know, not try and like make a show out of it or anything like that. I think it would make it less fun and less interesting, especially because I'm not like a professional or anything. I just love to prepare food for my family and for my friends when they come by. Although a bunch of friends did suggest that like, oh, you should do like a cookbook or something like that. Maybe I'll do it for fun when I have some, you know, free time on my hands. There's always something else to do, and I just love cooking. That's it. So yeah, probably not. Maybe a one-off or 2 videos, you know, making something for fun, but maybe in the context of like composing or something. Find a metaphor in there somewhere. We'll see. I don't know. Probably not. Any plans for some ambient music in the future? Just an album of jams? Yes. It's an idea that I've been flirting with for the past few years, especially since, you know, the pandemic and everything. I was diving into granular and modular synthesis, and just it's been a beautiful escape, just making interesting soundscapes and different ambient pieces. Yeah, it's something I would love to do, and I'll probably make an ambient record. Yes, for sure. Chord of the day. Oh, okay, so let's see. I don't know if you can hear this. So it's like a sus2 major 7, sus2 major 7 with a 13 in the bass. And the beautiful thing about this chord is like you can modulate it anywhere. And it's gonna sound musical. Yeah, let's call that a chord of the day. What's your craziest story from tour? Oh God. Well, there is one that I actually kind of wanna do a separate video for. It involves my tour with Pliny in India and my guitar falling apart and me trying to super glue everything 5 minutes before the show, which was a disaster, which is on YouTube, which had a lot more issues on the stage itself, but complete mess. I'll do a separate video about that. Crazy stories. I mean, there's always something happening on tour. It's really hard to pinpoint one thing or two. There was one time in Germany with Sordid Pink when we completely bashed and flooded the backstage. I never understood why bands do that, but it was a very stressful tour, and I don't know what happened. We probably had some, you know, we probably had a few drinks and we made a mess, just playing like stupid children. We were playing some hide and seek, just moving some trees around. I don't know what happened. It was, we made a mess, and we left a bunch of cash in the backstage for them to fix or clean anything if something needed to be sorted out. But yeah, that's the one time I remember we did something stupid. Barely remember. When did you feel like you found your own unique style / sound? I don't know, like for the most of my guitar playing life, I actually felt like, I don't know, there's just something like those little Eastern European details in my playing. They were always present in my playing. I was trying to hide them for a while at the start of my professional career, because I don't know, I just kind of wanted to fit in more, you know, into my primarily Western audience and to fit in with my Western colleagues. Yeah, I don't know, like just over time I feel like I figured out, okay, I have this, you know, little cool thing going on in my playing, why not use it more? Nowadays it's a big part of who I am as a guitar player, as a musician, as a composer. So yeah, I don't know if there was a specific time, but yeah, just over time it's been more prominent. What is your favorite live rig? Well, I really like the Quad Cortex. I used to very much enjoy my XFX, and I used to very much enjoy playing directly through my laptop. But I would love to be able just to bring a, you know, like 2 or 3 iPads on tour and have them, you know, like main rig on one iPad and then like 1 or 2 backup rigs. Just have everything go through the iPad, just like clicks and backing tracks and my MIDI changes and my guitar tone. It would be so sick. And then if something happens, just switch to another iPad and moving on, you know. Maybe it's something I can, you know, try out. Maybe, you know, I can take you guys on a journey to achieving that, you know, on my YouTube channel here. Because like, I know there's a ToneX app on iPad, so I can pretty much have my entire rig copied into it, and then maybe choose a DAW that I can use live or something like that. If you have any suggestions on how that could be done, let me know in the comments below. It's an area I would love to explore. Just have the lightest rig possible. Just like have 3 rigs in my backpack or in my guitar case with me, like 1 main one and 2 backups. It will be like, I don't see why technology wouldn't allow for something like that. I think that would be cool. Exercises for songwriting. The best exercise you can do is finish your bloody song. I can't even imagine. I think like for all the music that was ever released from, you know, any artist on this planet, it's probably just a tip of the iceberg of all the unfinished and beautiful ideas that could have been something, but they just ended up being nothing, you know. Finish your songs, your, you know, the ideas that you've started. I think that's the best exercise. Just starting something, like having a couple of melodies and riffs and then call it a day, be like, oh yeah, I practiced song. That's not songwriting. You have to finish, like make a whole piece. And I know many people, like there's probably a question coming up about writer's block, or how do I finish the idea that I started, or something like that, because that question comes up 95%, like 100% of the time when I did master classes or did any types of this, just Q&As or something. Finish your songs, no matter what it takes. If it sucks, it sucks. Finish them, release them, have a reference point, and then do something better or something different. Just finish your work. That's the best advice I can give. What are you looking forward to exploring in your current creative journey? Textures is one thing I started to notice over the past 2 years. Like, it was always like, okay, so melody, harmony, arrangements, different, you know, different styles of music, but the texture of a sound, how something, this is gonna sound weird, but how something tickles your ears when you listen to it, that sounds very strange, but I really want to explore more of that. Like, I kind of touched upon that on Bilo 4, having more woodwinds, having more saxophone, just stuff like that, like something that will bind the music even more. I think it's very I think it's something I want to explore more, be it like more organic or more electronic or something like that. Just like what kind of texture does this song or this EP or album has. That's Arsen practicing his death metal screams. But yeah, texture is definitely one thing that intrigues me. Just curious, but how do you think your music/career will change now that you have a son? I have no idea. No clue. Obviously, I haven't toured in the past 2 years since, everything opened up. I was, at home and we were working on renovating the new place and all that. So definitely started off with, less travel, less tours. Like I remember in 2018, I had like more than 50 flights that year. And now I'm just like 0 for the past few years. It's strange. It's very strange coming from, that to just nothing. But yeah, this is my life now. I absolutely enjoy every moment of it. And, but yeah, I'm looking forward to touring more in the future, for sure. As for my music, we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen when I sit down to write. Maybe something beautiful, maybe something scary, maybe something cute. I don't know. How do you treat creative block? Which way is the most effective way in your... Well, there we go. That's the question. Actually, I have a whole video written about this topic, and I have a couple of people that I want to interview, a couple of artists, to see how different people approach all this. But it really comes down to how you treat your inputs. Don't overwhelm yourself with information, especially useless information. Like, if you're stuck, take a walk. No podcasts, no social media, just take a walk. If you have a dog, take a walk with your dog. If you don't have a dog, just take a walk. Just roam around your block, just like a complete lunatic. Who cares? Or maybe listen to a piece of music that might be beneficial to what you're working on. Just like inspire yourself. Input is very, very important when you're an artist. And the less bullshit input you have in your life, the more beautiful output you will end up having. So I guess, yeah, just live a better life, live a healthier life. Comes down to that, I guess. I'll be able to make this song better later because I'm always learning thoughts. What do? No, just finish it. Finish the damn song. You can always come back to it. A few years down the line, 2 decades down the line, you'll come back to it. Fuck that song. Just finish it, release it, make new stuff, improve, grow as an artist. We've been through this a few minutes ago. Done. This topic done completely. Next question. Okay. Any plans on releasing the Rock Paper Scissors OP? Yeah, I still have to discuss with Corridor Crew guys and the lady that sang on that song, but it's not off the table. Could be cool to release it just for fun. I'll definitely make a video about it. I have all the video material. I just need to sit down and edit and do like a voiceover or something. But yeah, for now, just find it wherever it is, available and enjoy it, I guess. How long should I practice each day? Well, when it comes to very like conscious with a metronome type of practice, like if you're really, really trying to learn a new pattern or just, stretch your fingers in a different way, 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops. And we're talking like conscious practicing with the metronome, methodical, all that. Don't do more than that. You can hurt yourself and there's a limit to everything. But like every day, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, absolutely enough. Then you can just jam, play, whatever it is that your heart desires. What are some habits or tips you have for achieving an uninterrupted and productive creative space? Setting the boundaries straight with your family. Unless it's something very important, I would like to be uninterrupted for the next 3-4 hours. You can set your phone to do not disturb or stuff like that. Just like, yeah, I have like one button that I tap on and not a single notification will get through unless it's Yelka calling me, my father calling me, and a couple of very close friends. No messages, nothing comes through. As long as I'm working, when I'm done, I turn that option off, and still I don't receive most of the notifications, but just stuff that I find important. Yeah. Is this Q&A your own idea? Which kind of person do you helped you to complete your music? We are getting into some conspiracy theory stuff, I think, here. It was my idea to do the Q&A, my very original idea. And what kind of person helped me complete my music? I helped me complete my music. That's it. Would you ever consider working on music for video game? If so, how involved would you want to be? Oh man, would I consider? Like, obviously it depends on the project, but yeah, I would love to be a part of something like that. If it's a very creative type of work, something I really resonate with, yeah, I would be involved like 100%. But yeah, just being a part of it and dedicated a certain percentage of my time to it would also be amazing. It's something I would like to challenge myself with in the future, for sure. Will you make a video showing your Kiesel guitars? Also, did you make a pizza today? Was it good? Actually, I made a pizza yesterday. Today was a beef stew day. As for Kiesel guitars, yes. I will be discussing the extension of my contract with Kiesel very soon, and as soon as that's done, I'll probably do like a full video and just like showing all my Kiesel guitars. There's a bunch of them right now. Do you think guitarists need to be able to read staves? I think that's how the word is pronounced, staves. It depends on what kind of guitar player you are. If you're doing a lot of session work, if you're playing classical music or even jazz standards and that kind of stuff, I think you should be able to have a certain level of reading capability. But for most of what guitarists do nowadays, it's not necessary. Not necessary at all. But it makes certain situations easier. Why did you end up using fretless guitar in Fading Memories? Well, it's not the first time I used it on my records, and it's the type of guitar, it just gives you a different, I couldn't say it's not a different language, it's a different dialect of the same language. There's a different type of emotion you can express with a fretless instrument, for sure. It's a beautiful type of emotion, and I intend to use it more in the future, for sure. In your song Cry on Bilo 4, what are you doing on guitar starting at 450? So long story short, both Tosin and Javier tried to teach me the thumping technique, but I just can't do it. It feels very unnatural. Maybe if I spent like a lot of time with it, I would probably figure it out, but I figured out like a workaround, kind of using like chicken picking for this part. That kind of resembles the thumping. A bunch of people commented it's thumping. It's not thumping. I can't do thumping, but it's this. So I hammer on, and then I play with my thumb, and then with my index finger, is it? Yeah. And then it really depends where you're on the fretboard. So for that like slow build-up part, I play. So if I play here, you get like that more of a metallic sound, a bit softer sound. Here, it sounds kind of nasally. Almost like someone saying like this. And then here in the middle, it just sounds normal. What have you been listening to lately? Honestly, just mostly Pat Metheny and Meshuggah. Those two have been on my playlist lately a lot. I don't know what that tells about me and my psyche. Most inspiring video game soundtrack. Wow, that's not an easy answer. The first one, for some reason, the first one that comes to mind is Far Cry 5 soundtrack, especially the cult songs, and especially the hammock versions of those are very hauntingly interesting and beautiful. I don't know why that one. Definitely there's more interesting ones, but that's the one that came to mind straight away. So yeah, I guess that one at the moment. Would you consider doing more tutorials on your open tuning? Now that I've switched to a standard tuning, yeah, I don't know, maybe if there's like a small niche audience that wants to learn more about it, maybe I can make a video or two or something. We'll see. Can you explain what you did in the song Wedding at 6:09? I want to understand it. That's the link. What is your favorite digital/modeled amp and cabinet combo? Well, now that we have all these, like neural captures on Quad Cortex and Tonex in Amplitube, and that neural amp modeling, I think it's called. I captured like my amplifiers, I captured my own IRs. I'm completely not dependent on any modeler, so I just capture all my stuff with those. I capture my impulse responses and I love to use those. It feels much more personal. It's a lot more reliable. If some weird update comes along that just makes all the models better or whatever, I have my captures. I'm settled with those. They sound awesome. Every time I listen to Of Grief, I get the chills. Did you record a metronome? Did you record to a metronome? Also that one. How? I think that one was recorded just off tempo, like completely off beat or anything. So yeah, I don't think there's a single part in that little piece that was recorded with a metronome. So there's that. What books/video lessons would you recommend for someone that wants to learn music theory? Well, I used to suggest Berklee Modern Harmony 1, 2, 3, and 4 along with their workbooks for a long time, and I can still suggest those, but honestly I have not been in a market for any book/video lessons, so I can't really recommend anything more recent, but these are certainly the ones worth looking into. When you grab a guitar, what do you feel first? I feel like oh my god, I just read that. I feel like an S in the chest. Okay, I feel like an ease in the chest. Yeah, man, I can relate to that. Like, for most of my life now, I've found playing guitar a beautiful escape from, anything. Back when I was 14 or 15, it was like just like, oh, you have homework. Now, man, you're gonna play guitar. Have some, you have a deadline to finish some arrangement or something. Now, how about just play guitar? So yeah, it's both a blessing and a curse in a way. Doesn't gonna make your school grades any better, spending so much time with your instrument, but it's gonna, probably gonna pay off eventually if you stick with it. What was the question? What do you feel? Yeah, I feel free. I feel at ease. Everything external disappears, and it's only what comes from wherever. Yeah. Any tips to balance guitar technique practice with writing? I guess writing incorporates more things that you can't play in your writing, and then learn to play them, because very often if you think like that, very often you'll find that you have a musical idea in your head that you can't translate to your fingers yet, but you'll be surprised how quickly you can get around your technical limitations and learn new stuff just by challenging yourself that way. So yeah, I think that's the best way you can incorporate both. Clone over Tube Screamer, tell us more. Why? I just feel like Clone it can give you most of what Tube Screamer can give you. It has more. In the gain knob, you get more character. I prefer it. Sounds better to me. That's it. Feels better as well. That's a big part of it. Mastering, how much clipping and how much limiting? Well, it really depends on the material you're working with. Like, I do completely different masters for all my songs. I try to keep them in the ballpark. Like, I would have a completely different master, obviously, for a song like Of Grief or Fading Memories or any similar orchestral piece compared to like Cry or like Who Beat the Moon or something like that. But as the time goes by, I love to hear my work more dynamic, with more space to breathe and all that. But we'll see. That might change a few years down the line. Maybe I'll just smash the daylight out of my masters. Go to synth at the moment. Bilo 5. Oh my god. Let's not. Do you think the boundaries of contemporary music can be pushed further? How do you think? They're being pushed further every day, but there's many ways you can go about it. Just recently, Yeki sent me a Taylor Swift song, probably the latest song, I forgot the name, but it was so gently mixed and mastered, or you would almost call it like undermixed to a degree, but very consciously undermixed. Like, I think that's one way of pushing the boundaries. Like after years and years of people just literally pushing the boundaries of loudness and everything, here comes, the biggest pop star in the world, just definitely pushing boundaries into a different direction that you might, expect. But, if you're gonna talk about like technical abilities and stuff, like, I don't care. What has been the most influential album that made you change the way you create? Oh man. In recent times, I kind of want to say Bon Iver. His music, things I talked about earlier, the textures of that record, everything. What was the name of the record? I forgot. Yeah, 22 A Million. What a record, man. Definitely that one. Also, Peter Gabriel just released a record recently that's been getting some spins in my ears lately, which I really enjoy. I don't know, there's so much happening lately with music. I love it. When you don't use live strings, what VSTs do you use? I have 3 main libraries at the moment. One is the BBC Symphonic Orchestra. Another one is Symphony Series String Ensemble. I think it was done by the same guys who did LA Strings, but they did it in Budapest. Sounds beautiful for a library that's not like crazy expensive. And another one that was recorded in Australia somewhere, Cinematic Studio Strings. So those are the 3 I usually go for. All 3 of them sound different, but yeah, those are the 3 I use for my writing most of the time. Can you expect a new Sorted Pink record and some concert in the future? I actually just talked with Alex the other day, and we're probably gonna start writing and recording in March of 2024, so if that goes as planned, we might have something by the end of 2024. How do you manage this incredible pizza crust? Oh man, it really comes down to, you know, the technique and love for the pizza. I don't know. I'm still learning. It's still a bunch of trial and error, so I'm not the one to give advice. But be careful when looking for pizza content on YouTube. There's a bunch of bullshit, to be honest. But it comes down to trial and error. Many trials and many errors. Prepare to get fat. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you have some techniques you wish to explore and incorporate in compositions? Selective picking is something I still haven't tried yet. It's definitely something I wanna start diving into. Would be nice to have that tool in my toolkit, at least to a degree, you know. The last question I'm gonna answer is by Connor Kaminsky. He asks, what drives you? It's probably a question I could spend another 10-15 minutes just trying to figure out the answer for. Pretty much a bunch of things that I've discussed with myself or with my dear camera right here for the past how much, I don't know. Learning is probably the biggest part of it all. It's mind-boggling how incredible of a learning tool internet has become, and I've been absolutely addicted to just learning new stuff, be it, you know, music related, mixing, production related, cooking, science related, psychology, of course, considering what I've been through and all that, art, design, video editing, cameras, this stuff. I don't know, it's just like, it's beautiful. There's so much to learn. There's so much stuff you can invest your energy and time into, and that's what drives the hell out of me. And I don't think I'll ever stop, because there's always something new, you know. Put it simply, I think that's it. Learning is a big part of my life, for sure. So the winner of Bilo 4 anniversary challenge is congratulations. This guy, I assume it's a guy, delivered the PDF only like 2 hours or even less after I posted the challenge. Absolutely impressive. And I'm still getting emails with, you know, PDFs coming in, even though people are like, mostly like, oh, I know it's over, but I just wanted to send you what I got and all that. There was just no chance for me to go through all of them. I went through a couple of dozen and I discovered some stuff that I wasn't aware was on my record, which was, it's really funny. But I kind of want to go through more. And I was thinking maybe we can do a live stream here on YouTube and just open up like PDF after PDF and see how you guys did, what you guys wrote in the like a little message or what you drew in there. So I think that could be a lot of fun. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you had a beautiful 2023, and if I don't get a chance to tell you this on YouTube, I hope you have a beautiful 2024. Thank you for following my work, thank you for supporting it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.